Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully we're finding you good on a Monday evening for another stream. Thank you guys again for choosing to spend your time here with us on YouTube to talk about the little thing that we all appreciate, and that's pro wrestling. For those who were already awaiting while the stream was getting ready, initially we had the idea of a stream, the 2K stream, but technical difficulties on that aspect, so we're going to be doing another vertical here, and I wanted to hear from you guys as a member of the J area, as a member of the stream. For those who saw Monday Night Raw today, what did you think? Let me know. Make sure to voice your guys' opinions and your questions and comments in the chat below so we can get to them. I know tonight, well, I shouldn't even say tonight. Today's episode of Monday Night Raw, another one of those midday episodes as it took place across the pond over in Europe. I mean, another solid show, right? What would you expect from the WWE, especially now that they're in Scotland? I mean, what an awesome show. Dethroned by LA said it was boring. You know, I feel like there's always something you can take out of the show, though. It maybe as a whole wasn't something that maybe you liked, but surely there had to be maybe one segment, one match that you were a fan of. I know for me, anything Punk related, I'm all in. Love the Punk promo. Adding more to the triple threat match itself, I kind of want to see what else they're able to add to in terms of the Roman and CM Punk relationship there. We know that Paul Heyman is the bridge in between. So I will concede to that. I would like to see a little bit more from that regard. We saw Jay having his surprise tag team partner. Really wasn't a surprise. I mean, I honestly was of the mindset that it was going to be Joe Hendry because they were in Scotland, the home country of the TNA World Champion. But they went with Jimmy Uso, which, I mean, in continuity makes sense. It's his brother, of course. We saw him engage in a little bit of a backstage promo with Gunther not too long ago on SmackDown. And it also makes sense narrative-wise because moving forward, it's as a way for Jimmy to be involved in this story. Jay kind of lacking a sense of confidence here. So I like what they're doing with Jay. They took advantage of his botch with the top over the rope dive, I should say. Implemented another trip as he was going to spear Gunther, and they're kind of playing into that. So I appreciate that. I like the little detail there. And Jimmy gets a good slap on Gunther, and they're gonna have a match next week on Monday Night Raw. Should be a good one. Hopefully, Jimmy doesn't get too badly beaten up because I'm thinking Gunther is coming out for blood. Sorry about being negative. The Chad Gable stuff is good, but it better lead to something. I'm with you. I mean, especially when it comes with Chad Gable, who has really had a solid year in terms of his in-ring work. But they don't really follow up on it. I mean, you look at his run against Otis, the Intercontinental Championship chase. There's a lot to work with here, but I don't think they're following up on it. They're not capitalizing on it. So what they're doing with him here, I think is ultimately going to lead to a matchup at WrestleMania, him against some luchador. Depends who, right? Could be Ray, could be Penta. I think Penta's in the IC title scene right now. But regardless, it's going to result in him facing off against some masked wrestler and having his mask being removed. Not looking good for him, I will say, but I'm hoping by the end of the year, Chad's able to get some singles gold. And, probably the Intercontinental title will be the one more likely to be around his waist. Love to see him get a crack at that World Championship, even if he doesn't win it. Even if he doesn't win it, still like to see him get that opportunity and showcase his skills and abilities. But still, Monday Night Raw, that wasn't the only thing that happened. We had other news as well, namely with the women. I mean, the title of the video, of the stream, is that of the women's unofficial triple threat match, of course. Right now, it's being scheduled as Bianca Belair challenging Io Sky. Bianca Belair is going to be the special guest referee for next week's matchup between Io and Rhea Ripley, a rematch for the world title. This is it. This is how it's going to happen. We're going to find some kind of chicanery, maybe a no contest, a double count out, something along those lines. We're not going to get a decisive winner, and that's going to be the triple threat. There's no other way. There's no other way. The question is, should they main event? And I pose that to you guys. Do you think the women should main event night 1 of WrestleMania? Because we know night 2 is going to be main evented by the, Cena versus Cody matchup here. Do I think John Cena's mask is in the vault? Maybe. If he doesn't have it, maybe it's in the vault. Juan Cena, shout out to Muhammad there. I see you. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Thank you for being here with us. But yeah, no, I mean, awesome. Love to see all the familiar faces and names here in the stream. Appreciate you guys. And keep in mind, later in the stream here, we're going to wait for some numbers to get up here. The more people we have in the stream, we're going to be doing a free giveaway of the memberships. We had 5 free memberships go out last night for that stream. This one, we're going to give away another 5. So stay tuned and see if you're going to be one of those members to be selected. I don't get to choose. It's at random. You know, YouTube gives me the opportunity to click a button and it chooses 5 random individuals to be included in the monthly membership, where you're going to get access to exclusive posts, pictures, polls that will help determine future videos on the channel, as well as the exclusive WrestleMania 17 live stream we're going to be doing later in April as we approach WrestleMania 41. So keep on the lookout for that. If you haven't seen the video from earlier, we do have a video about Tiffany Stratton and her promo with Charlotte Flair. A little bit of a rocky promo there for Tiffany Stratton. I think it really demonstrated her inexperience in this moment. Keep in mind, Tiffany Stratton has only been on the main roster for about a year and only in the business for what, 3 years, really, give or take. It showed an inexperience for her, and I thought that's bad. You know, obviously it's gonna happen when you're up against someone like Charlotte Flair, who's been in the business for 10 years, and his blood is literally in the business as well with Ric Flair. So if you haven't seen that video, please go ahead and check that out as well. Just shows with the letter S worse than Cody. That's funny. But yeah, regardless, take a look at that video and let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on Tiffany Stratton as well as the Charlotte Flair build and WrestleMania? People were hyping that up as being like a dream match, the clash of 2 different eras. Obviously, Charlotte Flair had been like the 4 horsewomen, helped NXT during those early years, and then we have Tiffany Stratton, who's supposed to be like the new blood, the new incarnation of what Charlotte Flair was, but still could be. People have been kind of booing Charlotte Flair. They're on the side of Tiffany Stratton. And the feud itself has been building, but I do think it's not what it could be. We still have about a month left until WrestleMania 41, so there's an opportunity here for them to capitalize on it and introduce a little bit of adrenaline into this feud, but we'll see. Hopefully the match is better than the build. I always go back to WrestleMania 31, which the build wasn't as memorable, wasn't as iconic as some other WrestleMania builds, but the overall pay-per-view delivered. You know, with the main event, Seth Rollins cashing in, the ladder match was solid. I know Muhammad remembers we were talking about that on another live stream, so appreciate that as well. But definitely, man, definitely looking forward to it. Aside from that as well, I mean, talk about the main event, Penta against Braun Breaker for the IC title. A lot of people here believe that Penta will be the next Intercontinental Champion. I think it's a good bet. I think it's a solid bet. Seeing the wave of momentum that Penta has been able to gain, not only in the ring, because we know he can go in the ring, but with the audience. That's the biggest thing, man. Can you get over with the crowd? Because when the crowd is invested in you, can't do wrong. Solid outing against the Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. But then we saw the Judgment Day get involved. The Judgment Day gets involved, and they prevent a conclusive victory for either individual. I'm thinking at least it's something at WrestleMania. There's been word that it could be a multi-man matchup. It all depends on who's involved, right? Braun Breaker, obviously the champion. Penta could be there. Finn, Dominic. That's already 4 individuals. That's to see who else could be there. MLW and AEW pay-per-view start. Their pay-per-view start same time. They're going to have a pay-per-view same day as Dynasty, I'm guessing, there by Tyler. Shout out to Tyler in the chat. I don't keep up with MLW as much as I should. I've always said, you know, big 3. WWE, AEW, TNA. Those are the 3 that I keep up with the most. Obviously, whatever's out there on the internet, like in news-worthy stuff, like in terms of AAA. Don't know if you guys saw, but the new incarnation of La Parca had just been revealed. Vampiro had introduced him. Obviously, there was a segment there from Alberto Del Rio, also known as Alberto El Patron, having some making some news regarding the coins and change that were thrown his way. April 5th. Yeah, no, I'm familiar that that's Dynasty, but I wasn't sure that by MLW. Hey, what's going on, Gianna Forever? Appreciate you. Glad to see you back here on the stream. Favorite superstar currently? It's got to be Punk. CM Punk's one of my all-time favorites. He's number 2 for me all time. Big fan of CM Punk. Aside from him, Cody. Cody's my guy. Um, Other than them, I like Jay, like Gunther. There's a lot of people. Roman, Seth. There's a lot of people to like. But if you ask me, Punk is number 1 for me. Um, how did I like Jay and Jimmy today? I thought it was a good call. You know, I was predicting something for maybe Joe Hendry because they were going to be in Glasgow. Not the case, which is fine. I think Jimmy makes sense narrative wise because one, they're brothers. He's going to come out and help him, as well as what it means moving forward. We saw the interaction between Gunther and Jimmy in the back. That slap was lethal by Jimmy Uso, and that's going to lead to a matchup next week. So, for the purpose of that, I'm cool with it. Love seeing the Usos together. Shout out to Sanfran there using the Cody emoji there. Appreciate you. All time favorite Shawn. Shawn Michaels, I think, is the absolute GOAT. Best in ring work, his character work as a heel and a babyface, I think, is pretty damn good. Selling is fantastic. He's helping lead the next generation in NXT. Shawn Michaels, man, had 2 separate Hall of Fame careers, if you ask me. That first run, great. The second run, I think, was even better. So, Shawn, that's my guy. Shawn's my guy. Fair enough. Appreciate you. Muhammad, I miss Cena being a babyface. Hey, it's only been a month, man. I mean, not even a month. Hasn't even been a month. Let it sit, man. I love to see it. I love the Cena heel turn. I think it's really good stuff. It's something new. I appreciate that WWE thing. Appreciate the support, man. Go ahead and sub. You know, we have other live streams throughout the week, videos that come out as well. Love it, man. Appreciate it. Thoughts on Cena's Cody's build-up? I think it's last minute. You know, I don't know if it's last minute, Dion, but I do find it interesting that we're not getting anything from John Cena against Cody Rhodes. I mean, in terms of the promo department, John Cena could cut a promo on Cody Rhodes and hasn't done it yet. Maybe it's because he has an issue with the fans. He's been targeting the fans more so than Cody, as well as the possibility that he doesn't see Cody as main event material. You know, he still sees him as that young kid from, 10 years ago. So I don't know about last minute. I do think we need to kick it up a notch. I like what I'm seeing, but let's keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it on the incline. Ronan says, "Who are you?" My name is Jose, fan of pro wrestling. We have obviously a YouTube channel here talking about pro wrestling, giving an opportunity to other wrestling fans to discuss the one thing that brings us all together, man. Super kick originator, Sweet Chin Music, man, one of the lethal finishers ever. Telling you the favor is Punk getting in the main event, just like when Heyman got Roman in the match with the Fiend and Strowman. He would do the same for Punk. I mean, hey, I'm not going to totally discount that. I still think it's far-fetched. I wouldn't be against it. Punk's my guy. But I don't know, man. Maybe you're onto something. I'm not going to totally shoot it down. I'm not going to shoot it. It's Mean Mark's birthday. Is it really? Wow, I didn't even realize it's Taker's birthday. Happy birthday, Taker. Penta lost by DQ. Yeah, he did because of the interference by the Judgment Day. All Punk had to do is win a triple threat match. Maybe they have it as a number 1 contender, right? And then cash it. I don't know. There's so many possibilities. It's a good theory, though. It's a good theory. MLW hosting Royal Rumble, first time ever. Can I have... Shout out, 5 big booms there for FC. Notice how he said, "I want the red imprint. When signing with our reading and Punk will." Laughing. I mean, hey, there's a lot of time. Gianna forever here, always with the solid ideas, though. I'll be going to SmackDown and Raw when they come to London at the O2 Arena. Hey, shout out. That's awesome, man. Hey, hopefully you enjoyed the show. Come back on the stream and let us know how it was. Awesome, man. Okay, that's awesome. Can't wait for you. Cena would be cool. Oh, Cena would cool Cody on the mic. No, dude. I mean, and I think that's probably why. That's probably why they haven't had that interaction yet. They're waiting for it to build up, and Cena could probably eviscerate him. Some people are saying they're protecting Cody by not having Cena go off on the mic. I mean, maybe. Because Cena's that damn good. So I'm looking forward to a rebuttal from the newly turned heel, John Cena. Let's see. They said Cody was supposed to turn heel, but he refused, so that's why Cena was put in the heel spot. I read somewhere that it was The Rock's idea. The Rock was pushing for Cody to side with The Rock, but Cody shot it down. So the next best option was Cody. That's what I read. Again, can't concrete evidence and prove that it's 100%. That's just what I read. I think it's the right call. I don't think Cody should turn heel. Not yet. He should turn heel eventually. I think that'll be a great story there. Not yet. I think the Cena turn was the best call. Seth and Roman both sign the contract without reading it. That's a great point. That's a good, and maybe that's the favor. Yeah, you know what? With that kind of a detail about the contract, maybe you might have just sold me on that. Calling it now, Riddle versus Matt Kruger at that moment. Honestly, Tyler, I wish I can give you an answer and some opinion on that. I don't follow MLW like that, so I'm gonna have to, you know, revert to you on that one, my friend. WrestleMania needs something. Punk said it again tonight. How can I get what I want? He did allude to that. He said that like he's not gonna get what he really wants, which is obviously the championship and a main event win. So there's something there. They don't do these things for no reason. So I'm with you in that regard. Honestly, I feel the same with Io, Rhea, and Bianca. Like it feels like the whole WrestleMania thing is brewing slow. It's a slow build, but I think maybe it's subconscious because around this time, Mania would be like within the next 2 weeks. We still have another like 3 to 4 weeks for WrestleMania. So maybe in the month of April, it gets kicked into another gear. Maybe it's because it's a little further down the line. Hopefully, within the next few weeks, it starts to build up. He wants the main event. Yeah, he does. I want him to get the main event for sure. Okay, you're welcome. Hope you enjoy the show. Really do. Did the Bulls beat the Nuggets? Not sure. Haven't seen the scores yet today, Johnny. Punk threw a hint out tonight and said, I want to read the fine print of the contract. The fine print says if Punk wins, he gets added to the main event. This will be the shocking WrestleMania moment. That'd be crazy. But okay, Gianna Forever, help me out here. If he does, right, let's say this whole scenario plays out. Who wins? Is it Cody or is it Cody or Cena? Who wins that one? And then Punk comes in. Because if I'm Punk, do I insert myself as a triple threat? No, I don't want to do that. Cash in like he did for WrestleMania, or the WrestleMania Money in the Banks, I should say. So who, in a perfect world, who was he beating, Punk or Cody? Or Cena and Cody? I'm over here talking too quick. I do believe if Punk wins, he will join Cody and Cena and will become a triple threat for the title. That's a lot of triple threat matches, because the women have a triple threat match, the men are going to have a triple threat match, a third triple threat match. A lot of triple threats. I hope that WrestleMania is just the complete opposite of the road to it because the matches actually have potential, but I'm kind of bored with. Yeah, and I hear that. I feel like a lot of the build has been lackluster or at least hasn't delivered what we would like. But I do hope that the matches deliver because it's a lot of talent. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like the Gunther J match has a potential to exceed its build. I don't know about the men's triple threat because it's already a solid build. It should be a great matchup. The women's as well. So, but I'm with you. I feel like the build has been kind of lackluster, but the matches still can deliver, for sure. We said that. Imagine if the stipulation is the winner gets added to the main event and Roman wins the triple threat. Then Cena and Cody, and imagine if... Yeah, no, if Roman wins the title back, I think it's going to be too soon. He had the title for 4 years. I don't think he has that title yet. You should doing watch MLW. It's different product. Yeah, I believe it, but again, like there's only so much time in the day, right? Where could I find MLW? Or is that like on Fight TV? Is that on like YouTube exclusive? Like where can I find that? Because like I said, there's only so much time in the day. I don't even get to watch TNA that much. It's really just AEW and WWE that I have time for. Shout out to Tommy Ball. Kevin, what's going on, my friend? Cena heel run is like a 6 out of 10. I want to see him kick it up a notch. I think it started off so hot with the turn itself, and these kind of these promos by Cena have kind of just wanted the crowd wanting more, leaving them clamoring for more. So I'm thinking it will get turned up a notch. It has to, right? You don't want to start off too hot, because then how are you going to follow it up? Do you think we are going to see Rhea win next week? I don't think Rhea wins. I think there's some something's gonna happen where it's not a conclusive finish. Bianca maybe gets a little overzealous. Maybe Io and Rhea are in, they're fighting, whatever. Bianca's kind of in the middle of them. They kind of shove Bianca. Bianca shoves them, and it leads into this pushing match. And it's basically thrown out. There's no contest. Nobody wins. But Rhea feeling like she got screwed out of it. Rhea feeling like she got screwed out of another championship opportunity. They implement her into the triple threat, and that's how it builds. I think Io walks out as champion still, though. Thank you for the question there. Cody wins. Punk stabs Cody in the front like he said he would, promo. You might have just won me over. The stab on the front line. I still think maybe not, but that last comment there, Cody wins and Punk stabs him in the front, yeah. Not bad. I'm just afraid, what if it's too convoluted? It's too much going on. But I'm not mad at it. I think that's solid. I feel like the build is to protect Cody. Cena buried The Rock on the mic. Not anyone can do that. Remember that with the whole writing on the arm? Funny how Cena went the old Punk route in his promo. Yeah. The Summer of Punk, both Money in the Bank 11 and the Ring of Honor Summer of Punk as well. I like that. I like that route that they're going. Drew, I agree. I think Drew deserves better as well. I think so too. I think he should beat Damian Priest. I like Damian, but I think Drew's got to go over. Pay-per-views are on YouTube. Okay, solid. That's cool. Do they have like a weekly show though? Like a Raw SmackDown type of deal? Because that's what I'm more. I like to keep up with the product. That way it's like, okay, I can follow the story. Okay, on YouTube. Name a car for an edit. I'm gonna go something random. 1967 Chevy Camaro from Transformers 1. Dion with the old Cena shirt. Ruck Fools. No, I'm not. Bianca won't count. I think Dion, I think you're right. I think Bianca kind of meddles in the matchup and prevents them from having a conclusive finish. So yeah, I agree with you there. I see Tijuana Tacos down there. Shout out. Appreciate you, my friend. Glad for stopping by. Hope you have a good day at work, man. Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Luis, I'm dead. I don't know about that, my guy. It's crazy to think that Cena hasn't won a title in 8 years. That is crazy, but it's also crazy to think he hasn't won a singles match on pay-per-view or PLE since 2018. That is crazy. Bianca thrashes Rhea, and it just, Dion, I agree with that. It just changed it to a triple threat match. He costs Rhea the matchup. Are we going to see Booker T fight again? I don't think in the WWE, unless if it's like in a Royal Rumble spot. But not for like a long-term promo or program. I don't think so. Draven, yeah. Gianna Forever. How about this? Cody wins. I'm trying to catch up with all the comments, so let's see. There we go. How about Cody wins? Punker's knocked down to celebrate, and he attacks him. Heyman shows the contract, ring the bell. Ding ding, GTS 123, Punks. Okay, but then that basically is the Money in the Bank. But yeah, that would be the favor. Paul Heyman's an advocate, which is I would think very similar to like a lawyer. So he could implement that like, oh, okay, the winner, or if Punk wins, gets a championship match of their choosing. I just feel like it could get messy. If they handle it the right way, if they fine-tune it, it could work. It could work. I think the overall idea is there. I do. Valid. Yeah, valid. Bianca wins at Mania, staying undefeated. And she is 4-0, but something tells me Io goes over. I kind of want to see Bianca win just to go 5-0. But something tells me Io goes over. Do you think we'll see The Rock involved again? I do. And I'm curious as to why they haven't, spoken about him in these segments. They haven't brought him up. And I think, again, everything's done for a reason. So whatever that reason is, I'm hoping there's a payoff. I do think he gets involved in some way. What's the difference between Cena's heel turn and Cena being upset with the fans? It's all about actions. Cena can be upset with the fans. That's fine. Shout out to Oh, love from Italy. Hey, love from Italy. Right on. Appreciate you. Thank you. Cena's heel turn is more in line with the Cody stuff. If hold on, I meant Paul Heyman. Oh, I haven't gone to that part yet. Hold on, I'm coming back to you. Okay, is the heel turn? He viciously attacked Cody Rhodes. A babyface don't do that. Ganging up on him, a blindside low blow. That's a heel because you can be against the fans. But the way he attacked Cody and he rationalized that like, hey, you guys turned your back on me. You booed me. You bullied me. You know the abuse, and him turning his back is relatively a heel move. Love from Italy, man. Appreciate you. Imagine we get a swerve. Oh, Paul and Seth align. It gives him the favor instead. I did see that theory that what if Seth Rollins is the guy that, because like, everyone's thinking it's Punk and Heyman. So what if it's Seth? But I just feel like that's out of left field. That would certainly be a swerve. And I would be curious to see how that plays out. Give me your opinion on the Charlotte and Tiffany promo I heard. Flair exposed her. Give me your thoughts. I'm leaning towards Flair's experience more. So now I'm I'm hearing all the rumors. Big ups to Tiffy time. I'm at Paul Heyman. Got you. Yeah, no. I released a video earlier today talking about the Tiffany and Charlotte promo. Watching it live was interesting because I'm on Tiffany's side. You know, I'm all about Tiffy time. Love her stuff. And there's like a lot of hate towards Charlotte because people feel, and I'm one of them, that maybe she gets over pushed. By no means is she's bad. She's one of the best wrestlers for the women's roster. You know, but in that element, you could see the confidence. Charlotte's been there before. You know, she's main evented WrestleMania, had classic matches at WrestleMania. She's a big time player. So it's not out of the ordinary for her to be on a stage like that with a War of Words. And Tiffany Stratton, this is only her first full year on the main roster. So it showed her inexperience. And honestly, it kind of sucked, you know, because she has all this potential. And you can see she was kind of fishing for something. And I wish what she had said in the promo was, you find the hottest thing and pour water on it. And then Charlotte immediately jumps on that like a shark seeing blood in the water and doesn't give Tiffany the opportunity to really feed on that. And then she gives her an opportunity to, reply. And Tiffany just goes back to the original line of, like I said, you find the hottest thing and you pour water on it. And you can see like, oh, she doesn't believe what she's saying. You can see that doubt in her words. I wish she would have taken it this way. She talks about you find the hottest thing and you pour water on it. And then when Charlotte takes over and says like, oh, cat caught your tongue, what, you got nothing else to say. I wish Tiffany would have went more aggressive and been like accusing Charlotte of being jealous, and saying you were gone for a year, injured, and this division continued on without you. Stars from NXT rose up. Stars from other promotions came over. This division doesn't need you. You are the past. We don't need you. And now you want to come back to claim your throne, to claim your championship. That's not going to fly with me. Your time was then. Now is Tiffy time. I wish you would have, said something like that and just really punctuated that idea that you were gone and now it's my time. But it didn't come off that way. She tried too hard to be that good baby face. No, show a little bit of aggression. Show a little bit of that aggression that we saw in NXT. A little bit of an edge. Just because she's a baby face doesn't mean she has to get rid of the character that she developed in NXT. What if instead CM Punk fighting Cody at Mania, they do it at Backlash so Punk gets some time to heal because it's more likely going to be beat down by Seth. That's something I think would be more in line. I think whoever wins this triple threat match is going to be in line for a title opportunity and probably get it at the next show. So Sanfran, I'm with you on that. I like, Gianna Forever's idea, but I just think for them, I don't think they're going to, for the lack of a better word, waste that match at WrestleMania, especially when the build's Cena and Cody. Would it make for a shocking ending? Absolutely. But sometimes you don't want to waste all your shocking endings. So I'm inclined to believe and agree with San Fran there. I hope the next few weeks are better. It's been solid for a show, but not up to my expectations. I'm really thinking it's the booking. They're conservative. I feel like they're going real conservative with this booking and not trying to overdo it. That way, in the last maybe week or two, kick it up a notch, and it's like boom, all time expectation or all time hype. So that's what I'm hoping. They're really conservative, keeping their foot off the gas, and then once we get to that final lap, I'll go. Suns and Bucks. Kevin Durant has 29 points. Shout out to KD, former Warrior. Big ups to San Fran. They said she was better off as heel. I think Tiffany is better as a heel. I like Tiffany, so it's like regardless, I'm gonna be a fan. But I think she still could have kept those same qualities as a babyface. But I think she's a stronger heel, more comfortable as a heel. Nah, man, I told my little sister to quit sneaking. That's crazy. Imagine a scenario where CM Punk and Roman Reigns looking at Paul Heyman and waiting to see who he sides with. He replies by saying, I choose to side. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Because we haven't seen Brock in some time, obviously, because of the allegations. I feel like the Brock thing is more likely than the Seth thing. In terms of expectation, I think he sticks with Roman, or he goes with Punk, brings Brock, or then Seth Rollins. That's the order in which I would go with. That's another thing, Jose. Why don't they just do the heel versus heel thing instead of turning someone face or turning someone heel? How even two faces gives things. You know, but that's the thing, though. A heel versus heel is tough to do. It's rare that we've seen a successful heel versus heel because you got to cheer someone. It has to be a pretty likable heel. But I feel like in that instance, to again go with your argument, if it's a heel Tiffany versus a heel Charlotte, they're going to cheer Tiffany anyway. They turned her face because of the fans cheering. So, in that regard, I don't think you need to turn her heel. She can still be the face, but just have that aggression, right? The heelish tendencies. What happened to being an anti hero? What happened to being those tweeners who were technically a good guy, but weren't afraid to do bad guy things? WrestleMania, Jay versus Gunther is going to be 50 super kicks and 100 chops with Gunther getting the win. 20 super kicks. They're going to need 20 super kicks if they want to drop Gunther. And I hope not. I hope it's not a two-match or a two-move match. Appreciate that, Antonio. They be the matches that kill on the house. Oh, the house shows. Yeah. It's a simple black hat. Appreciate that, Gregory. Gunther versus Dom is good booking. But who's the heel? You know? I feel like if you want to turn Dom babyface, that's the way to do it. Have him go against Gunther and get like decimated to the point where he's not giving up. He doesn't give in. Another chop, kick out. Another chop, kick out. Maybe Gunther gets the win. And even after all of that, Dominic gets up, as the resilient, wrestler, and the crowd sides with him. That could be a way of turning him babyface. What if Cena, at his last pay-per-view event, as a heel says, I'm not going anywhere and doesn't retire? That would be crazy. But I don't think it's going to happen. He said he's going to leave, with the championship, take it hostage. But anything's possible. Kenta Kobashi chops. The Kenta Kobashi chops are crazy. Eddie Kingston, shout out to him, but the Kenta Kobashi chops, I'm not a fan of. Do I like Seth Rollins' fits? Yeah, I think they're cool. I mean, I don't like there's some that are really out there, but there's like more cleaner ones. He recently had a green one, like a green jacket. That was cool. Yeah, fits are cool. I'm saying they're house show matches, but they're the ones that go. Yeah. But I mean, the difference between a house show and a pay-per-view, right? Cody versus Punk. Do you think he will retire as a face or heel? I think face. I don't think he goes off as a heel. I think somewhere along the line it changes and he becomes a baby face. The fans want to cheer him. AJ versus Ilya would be fire, man. Hopefully Ilya is able to come back, healthy soon, whenever that is. Maybe after WrestleMania. AJ versus Ilya. Leo, soy mexicano. Ya sabes, con el nombre Jose, no hombre. Seth Rollins fits are funny, but they're out there, man. But they're out there. They get you talking. Logan versus Gunther, I'd watch that. AJ versus Penta, yeah, that'd be great too. Braun versus Fatu, these are great matchups. Yeah, I'd love to see these matchups. ¿De qué parte? Okay, so I gotta confess, technically I'm from Arizona, pero mi familia is de Mexico. Mom's side is de Sinaloa, dad's side is de Chihuahua. But me, born and bred in Arizona. Mount Rushmore. Okay, Sonny. So I got two Mount Rushmores. That might be chill. That might be cheating, but hear me out. So I have a personal Mount Rushmore, and then I have a Mount Rushmore of the sport itself. So for the sport itself, I think you got to put Hogan. I put my differences aside, whether you like him or not. He's a big part of WrestleMania and how it evolved into the global phenomenon that it is. Got to put Hogan. I got to put Taker. I think he's one of the all-time GOATs. Fought in every era and is a mainstay of professional wrestling. If you're not a fan of pro wrestling, you know who The Undertaker is. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the leader of the Attitude Era. I think the greatest superstar in terms of merch, in terms of stardom, in terms of crowd pop, Steve Austin. Number 4, I got to put John Cena for an all-modern era, really carried the WWE during the PG era, and I think what he represents for the company itself is how a company man should be. So Taker, Hogan, Cena, Austin. My personal Mount Rushmore has to be Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, Eddie Guerrero, and at 4, The Rock. These are the 4 individuals that really encompass my love for professional wrestling. Roman versus Gunther is yet to happen, and it should. It should. That'd be a solid matchup. Does the triple threat main event? So regardless, I think one of the triple threat will be the main event. Whether it's the men or the women, I think it's going to be the men, but I feel like the women should get a shot too. But I think it's the men. Taker, Austin, Shawn, and Cena. Love it. Love it. No, I'm not, Leo. Alexa Bliss is women's champion. Maybe down the line. Maybe down the line, but not yet. Not with this current character she got going on. My personal one would be Shawn, Punk, Benoit, and I don't know, my 4th. Odds are similar. Ours are very similar. Kurt Angle's a good one. Benoit. I would. Benoit's cool as a wrestler. Well, let me wait. I caught myself there. I like Benoit's work as a wrestler. Obviously, we can't ignore what happened, at the end of his life. But in ring, I mean, Benoit was one of the best. And I like Benoit's matches, but I leaned more towards Eddie. Eddie was more my style. Oh, yeah, Young Brock was crazy. The next big thing, that 2002 to 04 run, that was a good run too. The problem with Cena winning the title is I can't imagine the fans cheering. They will just boo him. So would that be a good way to end the show unless there is a twist? I mean, you can argue that. But then look at WrestleMania 39. Cody lost. Roman got the win. And a lot of people left WrestleMania 39 feel like it was deflating. So I can see them doing it, having Cena win. But again, I don't think Cena wins. I think Cody wins. I think Cody wins the matchup. This forces Cena to become more aggressive, more desperate, maybe wins the Money in the Bank contract and cashes in, whether it's on Cody or Jey Uso, which I think would lead into another feud there because he eliminated him at the Rumble. Please tell Sonny we're speaking in ring. Gosh, people take the stuff and run with it. No, I know that's why I always have to preface it. I have to say like, hey, I don't condone, what the man did, but we do have to acknowledge like, hey, in ring, Benoit was one of the best. Kenny Oliver McFinger bangs. Do you like him? Shout out to Sonny with the Jim Cornette reference there. Yeah, I like Omega. I'm a fan of Kenny Omega. He's one of my favorites in AEW. Wouldn't be on my Mount Rushmore because those other four were very like an integral part of my fandom. So, but I think in AEW certainly he's their Mount Rushmore. The question is, yeah, I think he would be a part-time champion. He'd have to be, right? He's not going to be there all the time. I think The Rock or Punk will play some part. I think you're right, Kay. I think some way or another, there's going to be a little bit of chicanery. We're going to see some interference, whether it's in match or after the match. Rock and Punk are solid options there. I think Gunther retains. I think he loses. But again, my opinion can change depending how the build is going. Right now, I'm more inclined to say that Jay wins. How will he manage being the champion when he's rarely there? Same way Roman did it. Roman did it for like the last year of his title reign. I think Cena loses, but he will win maybe before SummerSlam. I think you're right. I think Money in the Bank comes into play. He definitely will turn back babyface before he turns. Yeah, because I think he loses the title before the last match. And who knows? Maybe he turns babyface during that last match. You know, they could make that work. That's what they did with Hogan at WrestleMania 18. He went into as a babyface and finished the match as a heel. He went into the match as a heel, finished it as a babyface. So definitely, I wish Benoit was still alive. Yeah, maybe prevent that tragedy. Has Punk ever won a match at Mania, which isn't a Money in the Bank? Because he always says he deserves a Mania moment. So should he win this year? So Punk won at WrestleMania 28. He beat Chris Jericho to retain the WWE title. That's his only victory at WrestleMania that wasn't Money in the Bank. I think he should win. I like Roman, like Seth, but I feel like Punk needs this win, to validate this run. He can easily beat Seth and close that chapter. The Roman stuff is interesting because there's so much more to build off of that. So I'm thinking he gets the pin on Seth and gets the win. That's an early spoiler for the prediction video that we'll be releasing later next month. I like how he definitely spinned everyone and said, "You don't get a new theme song. That's my voice." And that was a big talking point. Everyone was saying, like, hey, is he going to get a new gear, new entrance, a new promo style, whatever? And I kept saying, yeah, he has to, right? He's going to be a heel, got to make a fresh take on everything. But I like they came out and used logic and said, I'm not going to change the way I dress. You dress like me. I'm not going to change my theme song. That's my voice singing my song. So I like that there's rationale. And also because the fans, they wanted to see something new. So me as a heel, why am I going to give you that? Why am I going to give the people that? It's a babyface thing. So I like it. I approve of that. I was thinking of a scenario where Cena wins at WrestleMania 42 and turns babyface to drop the title and goes off into the sunset but I don't think he's going to be at WrestleMania 42. He says that 2025 is the last for everything. The last WrestleMania, the last Royal Rumble, all that. So I don't think he'll be at 42, at least in a match capacity. Punk, Rollins, and Reigns should be on night one, and Cena. I agree, Muhammad. I would love to see the women get that opportunity, but I think the men's triple threat and obviously the Cody Cena match will be the main events for both nights. When I stand Cena 06, love that entrance. Fire. Cena as a heel is unnatural. It feels weird. It doesn't feel right. The way he talks to the fans, the tone of his voice, his facial expressions, it's weird. Eerie. Sweaty guy. Shout out for the Paul Heyman reference. You just had to be there. If you know, you know. We bought that pay-per-view live. I was 8 years old and managed to get my family to buy that pay-per-view, ECW One Night Stand, and to see the vitriol and the hate that was spewed towards Cena. Of course, the iconic "if Cena wins, we riot." What a moment in time, seeing that. And then RVD wins the title, Paul Heyman with the assist. It's like you said, you had to be there. I can see Cena versus Goldberg this year. I don't think so. would it be a dream matchup? Sure. But if Goldberg does have that final matchup that they were talking about, I think we're more likely going to see Gunther or Braun Breaker. I think those are the guys um, that they would have him face. I think he's bluffing only because it makes sense. Yeah, Saturday night's main event is in December in Boston, but WrestleMania is right around the corner. Does he really retire in December? I think so. I don't see why he would want to stretch it out. I think he goes in the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 42. I don't see him stretching it out. I really do think December's it. No one talks about Gunther and Jay. Like, no one gives. Is the hype still there? The hype is still there. Because if you watch the show, the crowd's still into it. They cheer for Jay, they boo Gunther. So in crowd, yes, it's there. But again, maybe that's only because they're in crowd. In terms of the audience as watching this show, I'm still interested. Hype is not the word I would use. I'm interested. I'm invested, but I'm not hyped. They need to do a little bit more for me. I think we're going to see that in the next 2 weeks. They've hinted the whole Jey Uso becoming more like the right hand man, Jey Uso, than the Yeet man. See that more aggressive side to him. It's all about aggression. So I think in the next 2 weeks, maybe I'll be able to use the word hype. Let's see. Big shout out to Jose for being a man of his word. T-shirt. Appreciate that, AJ. And I'm glad I got to see it. I saw in the comments of a previous video, or it might have been a post, you had linked it. And I was like, you know what? He went out of his way to link it. I gotta watch it. Sat down, watch it. San Fran was with me watching it as well. And even he was caught off guard because we weren't expecting, Roman Reigns at that point facing off against Ricardo Rodriguez, who he said from a distance looked like a bootleg super crazy. So shout out to AJ there. Appreciate you, buddy. Khan, viva la raza. Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining us, buddy. I'll be wearing my J shirt proud. Same. When I get mine, I'm thinking about getting the bucket hat. I've always wanted a bucket hat, so I'm thinking about getting a bucket hat. Jay is just the Yeet man. For now, I think he's gonna go. I'm not saying completely back to the right hand man, Jay, but for the purpose of this matchup, I think we're gonna get that aggressive side. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Love it, man. Yeet. Dream match for. What's my dream match? 4 wrestlers, dead or alive. 4 wrestlers in 1 matchup. It's got to be Bret Hart, Bryan Danielson, Kurt Angle, and ooh, I'm stuck between 2. Kurt Angle, Bryan Danielson, Bret Hart. I'm gonna put Benoit. I wanted to put Eddie. I'll put Benoit in there. I think that'd be a crazy matchup with those 4. I'm a technician guy. I like to see those type of wrestlers. All I remember is Jey Uso versus Jimmy, which I thought would be like, oh no, whoa, hey, not like Owen and Bret. It was Sonny. I'm with you. I remember because I've tried to be optimistic. I try to be a half, glasses full kind of guy. I remember watching Jimmy versus Jay, and after the matchup, I was like, "Am I wrong, or was I expecting something more?" And I'm with you. I think it was kind of disappointing. And it's a shame because I like them all. Jimmy and Jay, all the bloodline stuff, but it was disappointing. I do think Owen versus Bret's the best brother versus brother matchup of all time. You're never going to top that. Never going to top that. Not even brother versus brother matchups. It's just one of the best WrestleMania matches, one of the best wrestling matches. So you are not wrong to think that it was disappointing. Yeah, AJ, he was watching it with me. Sweaty guy, I'm feeling oozy. I'm right with you, buddy. Khan, Jay, proud of you, brother. Very informative video. Appreciate that, Khan. Thank you so much, buddy. Go for it, vlogs. Ricardo, who would you have go over, Rodriguez or Kozlov? That's a mean star, brother. Woo, goddamn. That's a wrestler's fan who I dream one of them. Yeah. I mean, because I just love that style. I thought about Eddie in the Benoit spot, but I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna put him. Cause I in a dream world, I got to book a Mania match or a Mania show. Benoit versus Brian Kurt in that matchup. Oh, Kurt Angle as dude. Brett, Kurt, Brian, Benoit. And then the other side of the card, Eddie versus Sean. So again, for logic purposes, keep them separate. Matt versus Jeff was fine, but I do think the Hart matchup was a lot better. Rod, I'm with you. Do you think Owen Hart was very scary to watch? Oh, the death. You know, we've never seen it. The fall of Owen Hart. I would imagine so. It's terrifying what happened with Owen Hart, and it's sad. It really is. It's a tragedy in a word. I go back to watching the the Dark Side of the Ring episode with Owen Hart and hearing Jim Cornette's testimony of it. It's sad. I can't imagine what it was like to be in the arena. What about Sean versus Brett versus Kurt versus Brett? Everyone has something on someone. I did think about Sean. I did think about Sean because there's again history everywhere there. But I'm selfishly gonna save Sean for an Eddie matchup. But yeah, that's I love it because Sean has beef with Brett. Sean has beef with Kurt, mentor to Brian. Brett obviously has issues with Sean. Dream match with Kurt. Brian is an inspiration. Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. Hi. Chris and Kurt had to be in there, right? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Shout out to Sam. I see you, buddy. JBL snubbed against Cena in WrestleMania 21. Underrated feud. You know, Daniel, I'd have to agree with you. That was a feud that I really grew up on in 2005. You know, WrestleMania, Judgment Day. They had their matches there. How ironic is it, though, that JBL is kind of a babyface now? People kind of cheer JBL and Cena's the heel. It's so interesting to see all the heels come back and say, like, I told you. You know, I told you that Cena was a bad guy. So that's fun. Mine would be Chris, Kurt, AJ, and maybe someone like Ricochet. Oh, man, Dion. AJ's a great pick. How can I forget AJ? Best Undertaker non WrestleMania match. You know which match I really love? No Way Out 2006 against Kurt Angle. I love that matchup. I think it's crazy that that didn't happen at WrestleMania 22. So I'll probably go with that one. Aside from that, the Hell in a Cell between him and Shawn. Love the Mankind one. Love the Kurt Angle one. But to answer your question, the first ever Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, 97. That'll be the answer. Ilya or Eddie, maybe, I don't know. So many ones could be the fourth. I mean, dude, you're talking about a buffet line of so many talent. When do you think Chad Gable will turn into Perk Gable? I hopefully never. I don't want to succumb to Percocet. Hopefully never. Right? But if he turns heel, hopefully. And Genghis Khan is crazy. That's a crazy matchup. Best Mark Henry match to your memory, Jose? Appreciate that, Nolan. But I'm a gentleman. I'm not going to release that kind of information. For Mark Henry. Now thinking about it, I can't say I've seen all of Mark Henry's matches, so I'm thinking of the ones that I have seen. Wow, I might have to come back for the Mark Henry one. But I want to answer it. You know, I don't want to leave you hanging like that. Let me come back to you on that one. John Moxley had a baseball bat with nails stuck into the back. Strickland got us. Oh my God, yeah, the syringe. Darby going through glass. Describe what's going on in AEW right now. AEW is the alternative to WWE, as they should. But I do worry about the safety precautions. I'm hoping that they know what they're doing, but some of this can be a little bit excessive. The John Moxley spot, I didn't really have a problem with it. My problem with it was on TV. Like you kind of think that'd be a pay-per-view spot. Save that for a paying audience. So that was my issue. Gnarly because of the way it like pulled against the skin. I mean, the highs of person literally taking Percules. Percules is a crazy name. Because we all know the personal presentation. No, I hope so. I like Chad Gable, but he's very much of like the early Kurt Angle when he's like joking, he's able to be, laughing. I do want to see a full heel Chad Gable who's aggressive. So I'm with you, Sonny. I want to hear him say yeah too. Yeah, that's why I said to your memory because it's hard. It is. It is. Isn't that crazy to say like I don't know a great Mark Henry matchup? I guess Taker, WrestleMania 22. That's the one that really sticks out. He had his Hall of Pain run with the World Championship, beating Randy. So maybe that, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. Probably the Taker one at 22. Could you karaoke Shawn Michaels theme for $1,000 in front of a full house? For $1,000, absolutely. Absolutely. For $1,000, I'll karaoke Shawn's theme. You talk too much, click off. Hi guys, it's taken a lot to write this, but I consider you my friends. Appreciate that, Sam. Oh my God. My mom said she was acting differently and all she wanted was to spend time with her family. I'm sorry to hear that, Sam. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. I appreciate that you are comfortable sharing that and saying that you consider us friends. I can't imagine, what's, going on in your life. But speaking as someone that has lost somebody, I don't want it to get too deep. It never gets easier. You just learn to keep living your life. And what I mean by that is not confusing that with moving on, but kind of honoring them and living that life for them in respect to them. I see everyone else's comments in the chat. I'll get to them. My only advice is to spend time with your loved ones. I couldn't have said it better with myself. The time that we have here is so limited that you wouldn't be able to imagine. And I think it's important to take advantage of those moments we have with each other. I've always believed never leave a conversation or never leave the loved one in an upset way. I hate leaving things, unresolved because you never know when's that last time you're going to get to see them. So I think everybody could take some great advice here from Sam and saying, make sure you spend time with your loved ones and cherish that. Shout out to Sam in the chat, man. Appreciate you, buddy. And again, I appreciate you choosing to spend your time here with us and feeling open enough to discuss that. Yeah, appreciate AJ and Dion there as well. My condolences, Sam, from Baltimore. Hold on to the ones you love and show love to everyone, not just a few, but everyone. I agree, Dion. Even if you don't know them, it doesn't cost a damn thing to be a good person, to be nice, to be kind, to be respectful. We all have our moments, but we're all human. I'm trying to see where. We appreciate you, Sam. Thank you, buddy. They still have to protect those guys. I get it. It's their competition, but sheesh, some of their stuff I don't know. If it's good for TV, I don't watch the product, but I still see things in podcasts. I'm with you. I'm with you in there, Dion. I'll still watch it, but there are some things where I'm like, maybe a little out there. My favorite meme in wrestling is Kurt Angle, 99 overall wrestler. The moment he takes the 65 pills, he's at 199. Yeah, he's crazy. Per peak Angle, we'll call him. That's a great one, though. AJ shout out with the Dirty Dom mask for WWE 2K25. People who want to go into their locker code. Name a car for an edit. Gonna go back to 1967, the Chevy Camaro. What's going on, bro? Stay strong, brother. It's not easy, but you're strong. Damn right, Dion. Damn right. And that's another thing, too, that I'm proud of when it comes to this chat and it comes to this channel, is that we all come from different places around the world, different experiences, different backgrounds. But over the course of this time that we spent with each other, I do value your guys' opportunity to just hang out, just talk. We might not know each other on a personal level, but it's gotten to the point where other people who, decide to make content, they look at them as viewers, they look at them as an audience. And although that is what this is, basically, I look at it as a way to make friends. And I appreciate you guys, every single one of you, for continuing to show up and show out. And again, follow Sam's advice there and just spend time with your loved ones, man. Why is Roman the original tribal chief? Wouldn't it be like a 70s wrestler? I mean, yeah. You could argue that. But I don't think it's from a literal standpoint. I think they mean original tribal chief as in against Solo. Solo was the tribal chief, but it's like Roman was the original one in the WWE's lore. What's your favorite WWE wrestler? Shawn Michaels, that's my guy. All-time GOAT. Great in the ring, great on the mic. I don't have SoundCloud. The cream always rises to the top. Shout out to the Randy Savage quote there. The cream. Randy Savage, one of the all-time greats. You guys already know I've always been more of a Randy Savage guy or a Roddy Piper guy versus Hulk Hogan. But the cream always rises to the top. I don't know if you guys caught the, for those who caught today's episode of Raw, did you guys see Dragon Lee get unmasked? Did not call it. All love, guys. Be blessed. I'm gone, Jose, my friend. Hey, appreciate you, Dion. Take care, buddy. Thank you so much for being here and for hanging out with us. Hope you have a good one. You know about Kali in 06? Dude, I went to Judgment Day 2006 for the pay-per-view. And seeing him beat The Undertaker broke my heart. I did not like Kali. I was super against it. But it's like, hey. But yeah, of course I know about Kali. Savage versus Cena? Dude. I'd watch it. Shout out to Tiffany Stratton. I see you, Nolan. Tiffy time, you already know. Suns beat the Bucks. KD had 38. KD went off, man. One of the best scorers. Former Warrior. Two-time champ. What are your thoughts on Bullet Club and what the F is that? Is it like the NWO and DX of New Japan Pro Wrestling? Oh, Bullet Club? I mean, I would think it's more like the NWO. Very much like that. I like the original Bullet Club when it was like, Prince Devitt, who's now known as Finn Balor. You had Bad Luck Fale. You had the Gorillas of Destiny, who are now known as Tamatanga and Tangaloa. At one point, Kenny Omega, AJ, the Young Bucks, Hangman, Cody, Jay White. So many members, Jeff Jarrett. So many guys have been a part of the Bullet Club. It's essentially the NWO. It's cool though. I will say the recent stuff I've kind of fallen off of, but anything from 2014 to like 2019 was good. I really enjoyed that. I made Savage win the big gold belt. Shout out, love the big gold belt and love Savage. It's scripted, I know, but it's cool. It's good entertainment. Let's see. Versus Canelo, Canelo would kill me. Canelo is too good. I'm from India. Right on. Where am I from? USA, buddy, on the West Coast. We can see it, you can see it playing in my glasses. What genre is it then? I found a way to get everything in 2K25. I just play Roman on it. That's crazy. I forgot that there's intergender mode on this year. I haven't even used it. Like Ash Trevino's crazy. That's funny. Cody versus Cena. Choose one. For the purpose of this feud, I'm going Cody. For the feud. 18 a size 18 feet smushing eggs. That's crazy. Size 18 is wild. But yeah, I'm going Cody. All time, I think you gotta go Cena. But as of right now, I'm going Cody. Heel up Cena. I think Austin's going to come in at WrestleMania. Johnny, I agree with you. I think Austin makes an appearance. I think he makes a run in to help out Cody. I don't think Cody's losing. I think Austin makes the appearance and attacks Rock. On the West Coast, buddy. I mean, USA, if you want to be more specific. And I'll give you a hint. I went to Judgment Day 2006 and WrestleMania 26. So that should narrow it down for you. Do you think Cena will appear on LFG? Maybe. If I had to give you a straight up answer, no, I don't think he will be. But I think it'd be really beneficial for them to have him. Best tag team of our generation. Well, what is our generation, Sonny? You know what I mean? Because for me, I grew up with like the Hardys. That's my answer. I'm gonna say the Hardy Boys, but it's like anybody could answer with a different one, depending on their generation. I'm gonna go with the Hardys. I think they're the best tag team of our generation. I think honorable mention could go to Dudley's, but if we're going like within the last 15 years, I think you could still make the argument for the Hardys. That'll be my definitive answer. If not them, I feel like the New Day and the Usos should be up there as well. I feel like for all the hate they get, I think the Young Bucks could even be in consideration. But I'm gonna go Hardys. Rey Mysterio, that's my guy. What's your favorite Mysterio SmackDown moment? Oh wow, my favorite SmackDown moment. I mean, I'm biased towards the debut, with the Spider-Man gear, him against Chavo Guerrero, a great debut. Other than that, his steel cage match against Eddie Guerrero, back in September of 2005 is a really good one. I enjoy. There's a lot of them. Edge and Christian the Rockers, solid, solid. Buckaroo's not. Jim Cornette's gonna eat the corn. I know, I know. I like Cornette stuff, but I feel like you do gotta give the Bucks a little bit of credit. You know, being one of the best and influential tag teams of this generation. Say what you want about them. I don't think they're the greatest tag team, but I do think they should be in consideration. They should be in the conversation. It's like saying, you know, let's say like the all-time greatest basketball player. You got your Michael Jordan, you got LeBron James. You know, those are the top two. A guy like Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, I think they should be in the conversation. I don't think they're the greatest of all time, but they do have a seat at the table, in my opinion. Los Guerreros, love Eddie and Chavo, great one. Wasn't Buckaroos called Generation Me in TNA? Yeah, yeah, it was Generation Me. Jeremy and Max Buck in TNA. Isn't that crazy? This is Spinal Tap. The Spinal Tap is a crazy maneuver. That's actually crazy to pull off. Shout out to AJ Styles. Damn. If you guys are just joining us here on the live, my name is Jose Ramos Jr. We're a fan of pro wrestling here, a channel from a pro wrestling fan for pro wrestling fans. If you're just joining us here in the chat and you're interested, comment down below your thoughts on the build to WrestleMania. We've been talking about how it's kind of a lackluster build. I think it's going to pick up in the last couple of weeks, but we'll see from there. Big match is already scheduled. We have the triple threat match between the men, Roman, Rollins, and Punk. Cody defends his title against John Cena, who's looking for number 17. And then Gunther looks to defeat and finally get rid of Jey Uso, the Royal Rumble winner. Aside from that, we also do... Did you give subs yesterday? I don't remember. Sanfran, I did give subs yesterday, and that's actually a really good thing you reminded me because I promised that we would gift five more memberships today. So shout out to Sanfran5. I was getting a little bit of ahead myself. So let's go ahead and just do it. We're going to give away 5 memberships here. Again, this is at random. Shout out to Sanfran5 again. We did give out 5 yesterday. We're going to give out another 5 today. I only get 10 a month. I can only give away 10 a month. So here are the last 5. Let's see who we got. Again, if you are a member of the Main Event Mafia, you're going to get access to exclusive polls, live streams, also... Oh, look, we already got him going. I see you. Rikarsha Rudolph, Jim Acosta, Bart G312, Kent Freeman, and Julian Campos. Hey, I should say Campos. I'm literally Hispanic. Why do I do that? Congrats. Welcome everybody to the Main Event Mafia. You're going to get exclusive access to exclusive content like the polls. I like to do a little bit of polls on the memberships and get more feedback from you guys. You guys help determine what are the future topic of videos as a member, as well as exclusive posts, pictures, the live stream that we will be doing for WrestleMania 17 coming up in April as we lead up to WrestleMania 41. And if you're selected as a member this month, next month we have another 10 available. So we'll see from there. What would you say about the main difference between Japanese and American style wrestling, and the fans there in Japan are like very quiet most of the time? So I find that very fascinating, Sonny. In Japan, they treat it like a legitimate sport. And what I mean by that is look at like a sport like golf and tennis. Very intense. They respect the sport itself. You know, when something happens, they clap. And then it's just like that. Fans are very much more fanatical. whether it's like a football game and they voice their opinions, they boo, they cheer. And then it's also the style. Japanese has a strong style. American is more like theatrics. It's more about like the drama and less on the maneuvers. It's a conglomeration of different styles as well, whether it's like strong style, lucha libre, Greco-Roman. There's a lot of different stuff going on there. Shout out to Lucha is Life. Appreciate you. AJ, what's going on? Johnny, who else you think is going to be at WrestleMania this year? That's a tough question because it could be anybody. It's going to be in Vegas. And they always have to have some sort of legends. I think Austin's going to be there for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Taker is there. Diamond Dallas Page, I think, is a good option. Luger is going to be there because of that. Good looking on the gifted, bro. Big thanks. Appreciate you, Jim. Appreciate you. Kent, what's going on? And as you can see, Kent and Jim, as the newest members of the Main Event Mafia, they have the NXT title there. So when you become a member of the Main Event Mafia, you get a championship right next to your name. When you're a new member, you become the NXT champion. After a month is the Cruiserweight title. 2 months is the US title. And I believe the next one is 6 months for the Intercontinental Championship. I heard Nash. Dominic needs the WWE title. I don't know about the WWE title. Let's start with the Intercontinental or the US, something like that. But I do think a championship would look good with Dominic. You got it, Ken. Appreciate you, buddy. Batista should make an appearance. He probably won't, though. Maybe for Triple H, at the Hall of Fame. But at WrestleMania, the show, I would be very surprised if Batista made an appearance. I think he probably makes an appearance at the Hall of Fame for his buddy, his mentor, Triple H. And again, like I said, if you weren't selected to be a member, have another opportunity next month. We have 10 free memberships every month. So keep on the lookout for that. Flair could, yeah. No, Ken, I think you're right, especially with the whole implications of the 17-time champion. Yeah, Flair definitely could. How'd you enjoy tonight's Raw? I was really hyped for the Braun Penta, really disappointed on the DQ. Yeah, I hate a DQ finish, but it's furthering the story, between the Judgment Day and Penta. Braun's going to have something to say about it, too. I hate when a match ends on a DQ, but when a show ends on a DQ, it's very deflating. I enjoyed it for the most part, though. Love CM Punk stuff. Love the Usos teaming back up in the further with Gunther. The women's triple threat is coming into form here. The matchup between Lyra and Raquel was okay. I didn't hate it. And then, of course, Cena and Cody. Big fan. Good luck, AJ. Top 10 candy. Okay, I can't do top 10 candy. I can do top 5. Because I don't really have, I don't really eat candy like that. I'm much more of a chocolate fan. But candy, I can't. I won't go in order because I'd have to, rearrange them. I'm a big fan of M&M's. Love M&M's. Love a Snicker. Love a Kit Kat. I like a Hershey, but the almond one. Almonds Hershey. And then for a fifth and final, I'll go Twix. Wait, did I say Twix already? Wait, so Hershey, Snickers, Twix, Kit Kat, M&M's. Okay, that's my 5. The only thing I fear for Dominic is eventually when he turns face, he doesn't have the same aura or charisma like Eddie as a face. Just look at Eddie versus Brock for the WWE title. It's okay, but I make this argument. When you turn a guy babyface, you don't have to change him completely. I'm not comparing him to Austin, but it's like Austin was a babyface and didn't change who he was. He was still attacking people, flipping people off. I feel like Dom could get away with like the slimy kind of a cheater, very much like an Eddie Guerrero. He could do the same things and just tone down the villainous factor, but still be cheered. You got it, Bart. Appreciate you. So how should they tackle that matter? I feel like I said, maybe not this exactly, but let's say he has a match with Gunther. Gunther beats him down so bad, and he still comes back, keeps getting up, fights back, that the crowd can't deny it. And they see this, and they see that, you know what, hey, this kid's got heart. And you start seeing him, and he gets the better of, Liv Morgan, ditches her, becomes his own man, wants to be his own, champion, has the inner turmoil of the Ray and Eddie stuff, maybe makes peace with Ray, and then becomes his own individual, kind of balancing between a babyface Ray and a heel Eddie, still maintaining the light sheet and steel quality, but having the best of both worlds. Still ain't got my stuff fixed to watch yet, but seen some highlights. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, check it out. YouTube's probably your best bet. Watching the highlights. Twitter, if you have it, probably your best bet. Loving Valkyria as Women's Intercontinental. Who would you like to see hold next? I think we saw a hint of it. I think maybe Bayley. I think Bayley has an opportunity there. I would also like to see Dakota Kai at some point. Bayley is very much high on my list, though. That's who I would want to see. Top 5 movies. Okay. No order, because I gotta, Rocky, the very first Rocky. I'm gonna go Spider-Man No Way Home, Back to the Future, the original Scream, because I try to go variety all over the place. And the last one, probably Endgame. Probably Endgame. My 2 favorites can't find in stores around me, and that's Big Hunkin'. I've never heard of these. Big Hunkin' Cowtoes. I haven't heard of these. But then again, I'm not a real big, aficionado on candy. I could see Storm getting the belt after she's done with Glow. But but that's the thing though. Is Jade a SmackDown, or I think she's a SmackDown girl, so I feel like Jade would go after the US title. But I definitely could see that. What I like about Punk today, I mean, you guys know I'm a big Punk fan. Love his promo style. Love the fact that he's already alluding to the alliance with Paul Heyman, saying he wants a little bit more. I love the line about him working with kids, because that's a callback to the AEW incident at Brawl Out. Love little callbacks like that. But yeah, no, that was probably my favorite part, was the working with children part. Because again, it's like a little sense of realism, blurring the lines between reality and kayfabe. I have not, AJ. I have not. Can we see Travis Scott at Mania? I think we will, Johnny. I think that's a great point. That's someone I did not mention because I wasn't even thinking about celebrity involvement. But yeah, I think certainly. I think Travis Scott has to be there. He has the theme song for the show. He's aligned himself with The Rock. I don't see why not. I hope Chelsea holds it for at least a year. She deserves it. They put her through stacked. Yeah, I don't want to see her lose that title soon. I think she's very entertaining. The Piper Niven and Alba Fire inclusion, I think, is awesome. I love that she has her little cabinet between the 3 as the U.S. champion. I hope she doesn't lose it for a while either. Someone that I think could beat her, though, Michin, Jade Cargill, I think, is another one. Naomi is another one. But we're going baby faces, so I honestly thought Zelina Vega was going to be one, but she lost against Piper, so we'll see where that leaves her. You didn't see it as a dig at Cena with the kids line? Me personally, no, I didn't see it. Because he has a feud with Rollins and Roman, so that's where my mind went. I guess you can say, yeah, I could see it also being a line at Cena. Not the way I took it, though. But I could see it. You saying that now, oh, yeah, sure, I can consider that. We're going to watch NXT tomorrow? Yes, I will be watching NXT tomorrow. Very excited for Stephanie Vaquer. has two different title matches to defend. She'll be facing Jada Parker for the NXT Women's title, and then Fallon Henley gets her rematch for the North American title. Yes, you better believe I will be watching NXT tomorrow. And after seeing her tribute gear of my all-time faithful, oh yeah, yeah, I did see that in the street fight, the Cactus Jack. That was awesome. Love little details like that by Chelsea. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a fan of her theme song. I think it's hella catchy. Will we see Shane in wrestling come? I think we'll see him with a company, whether it's AEW or WWE. I do not see him getting in ring though. I think his matchup at WrestleMania 39 is gonna be the last time we see him in a wrestling ring. I don't think he needs to go anymore. He's set. He doesn't have to wrestle anymore. He has nothing else to prove. But I do think at some point maybe we will see him affiliated with a company, just not in the ring. And the thing about it is Jack Perry cost AEW CM Punk, and now Punk is in the WWE. Seeing Hakuna Matata, meanwhile, in AEW is in turmoil. Isn't it crazy to think that Punk for 10 years was so against the WWE, spoke badly about them, obviously was done with them, didn't envision going back. There was an old interview with him and Chris Van Vliet, and it was like, I'm never going back. Never, ever, ever. And it's like, of course, you never say never in pro wrestling. But that only shows you it must have been bad in AEW, at least backstage, for him to, be fired and then go to WWE, and it's now like a new CM Punk, a welcome addition to the roster. But yeah, I don't think it's just Jack Perry. I think the Young Bucks are also at fault here as well for that whole drama. What do you like about Eddie Thorpe? I like the presentation. I like that they turned him heel. I think the babyface run wasn't doing anything for him. Him as a heel makes more sense. I like the idea that he stole that championship opportunity by not being at deadline and getting a matchup against Oba and Trick. So I think they're improving. He was reported to be backstage with AEW. Don't think they use him here. Comes the money song. No, I think that's a WWE song. I feel like Jim Johnston might have made that song. And yeah, there were pictures too of Shane and Tony Khan meeting together. So if he does show up in AEW, I don't think he's gonna wrestle. If he comes back to WWE, still don't think it. But again, never say never. That's the beautiful thing about wrestling. You never say never. What are your thoughts of the symbolism message of 34? Are you talking about the candle one where it was like the number 4 and then the second one was 3? I just want to make sure I'm on the same page with you. The one that's like on SmackDown? Yes. I think it's Aleister Black. I mean or Malachi, whatever he chooses to go by. I think that's who's coming to the WWE. I feel like the smoke, the darkness very much is in line with Aleister Black's, aka Malachi Black's, early run in NXT. I think that's who it's gonna be. I think it's a countdown, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ultimately when 1 comes, Black is there. Shane O'Mac to me always had good matches. Yeah, I wouldn't say great matches, but your second part here gave it his all, left it all in the ring, and wasn't afraid of high risk spots. I have nothing but respect for Shane McMahon. He did not have to do the things that he did, to go to the lengths that he did, to do the stunts that he did. Shane has my respect. Of the 4 McMahons, he's my favorite McMahon. Nothing but respect for him. These people keep talking. People in NXT want to get dark. I mean, okay, if you're talking like edgy and gritty, I'm down with it. It's a physical contact sport technically. More like Shane dies for the business every night, every other night. If AJ was ready to fly, Shane was ready. Yeah, crazy. Great line by Sonny. If AJ was ready to fly, Shane was ready to die. That man would go through anything, man. Shane McMahon in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. Absolutely. Put him in the Hall of Fame. The Titantron bump hooked me on Shane. Dude, the SummerSlam 2001 with Steve Blackman, wild. Wild, man. King of the Ring '01, great street fight, earned my respect for sure. Not that he needed it, but Shane's an all timer. I agree with you, Muhammad, Hall of Fame for sure. What's up, Sergio? Sergio for others. I think Foley versus Shane, who wins? Because I feel like both like to lose and just have good matches and put the match. Yeah, it would go freaking no contest. No one would want to win. No one would want to win that match. But imagine those guys in a street fight, a never-ending battle. Maybe that's the dream match we should have talked about. Shane McMahon did survive in a helicopter crash. Yeah, I actually forgot about that. That's crazy, actually. I did forget about that. God bless Sergio. Appreciate that, buddy. Helicopter incident. I think we all knew what you meant. We got you. We got you. Speaking of God, we're going to be going for another maybe 20 minutes here on the live. But I want to say, of course, we don't get the opportunity to do so later. Appreciate you guys choosing to spend your time here with us and hanging out. Love it, man. Appreciate you guys. Nothing but love on my end. Thank you for continuing to support and come out for these live streams, watching the videos and supporting. Can't thank you enough. That was a dream match of mine as a kid. Like I mentioned, Foley's my all-time favorite. Shane was very Foley-ish. Yeah, that would be wild. I'm sure in the Attitude Era, they had to have a matchup, like on Raw. I'm sure. Maybe not high profiled, maybe not even long, because obviously during the Attitude Era, it was like Crash TV where it was like very quick, rapid pace, and it wasn't a full matchup. But to get them in a full match between the two would have been awesome. How does one survive? Ask Shane. Now, my dream match is an exploding barbed wire Hell in a Cell triple threat between Jim Cornette, Bischoff, and Root. Oh, wow. So, my brother and I, we've always said we would love to see Jim Cornette versus Vince Russo. Introducing Eric Bischoff in that and adding the stipulation of a Hell in a Cell exploding barbed wire matchup between the three, that's wild. Who wins? I'm going to go Cornette. No, I'm going to go Bischoff. I'm going to go Bischoff because Bischoff has a background in karate as well as Jim Cornette. I feel like it's just going to kill Vince Russo. I feel like those two are just going to go at it, and Eric Bischoff's going to take care of the scraps. I'm doing well, Big Tank. How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you stopping by on the stream. I'm good. I'm glad to hear that. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, buddy. Of course, we do have NXT tomorrow. That'll be fun. We have a Dynamite, another episode. Thursday stream's going to be about the Warrior, Ultimate Warrior. Friday Night SmackDown. Raw Manager from 05. Yeah. Well, no. Eric Bischoff was there since 02. Eric Bischoff came in 2002 and then left in 05. One I wish I could see is Finlay versus McIntyre in a wow. So shout out to Kent there. I don't feel like Finlay gets enough recognition. Finlay versus McIntyre in a brawl would be crazy. That would be fun. I would love to see that. Deep cut from Kent there. Shout out to Fit Finlay. Doesn't get enough love. Hall of Famer. I think you can argue Hall of Famer just because of his contributions to the company, to the sport, in terms of a producer slash trainer, really helped the divas in the Ruthless Aggression era. Trish Stratus has said that Fit Finlay was a big proponent of their matches and teaching them how to have a match like the men. Wonder if Steph's matches are back to that's crazy. Are back to back or spread out? Finley and I love to fight. Shout out to Finley. Hornswoggle and Shillelaghs. I remember when Hornswoggle was first introduced. I remember because we had watched No Way Out 2007 on pay per view. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the Boogeyman and Finley had a feud where it was Hornswoggle and Finley versus Boogeyman and Little Boogeyman in a tag team matchup. Shout out in the chat if you actually remember seeing that or if you've heard of that. No Way Out 2007 it was billed as a mixed tag. Ken says I do. That's crazy. I love the stuff with Hornswoggle, the early stuff with JBL. That was I think JBL was a good commentator. I liked his stuff. I was a fan. Oh, you own it on DVD? Right on. You know what? I keep talking about my DVD collection. One of these streams, I want to go through all of them and share with you guys like why I bought them, why they're my favorites. So keep an eye out for that. I would love to do a stream about my wrestling DVD collection. Yes, sir. Right on, Jim. That was a good match. Entertaining. Guys like Finley and Hardcore Holly, always underrated, but will get the job done. Shout out to Sonny. Couldn't agree more. Jim says, was a sophomore in 07. Damn. Wow, sophomore in 07. Right on, man. You don't even want to know where I was in 07. I was in the 4th grade. Yeah, I was a 4th grader in 07. That's crazy. But I remember. Wait, no, 2007. I would have been in the 3rd grade, going to be in the 4th grade. Ken says graduate class of 2000. Right on, class of 2000. You're looking at class of 2016. Damn, it's gonna be 10 years already for me. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, Ken. But hey, class of 2000, right on. But see, that's what I love about these streams. That Muhammad. Oh, shout out, Muhammad's in 4th grade as well. Right on. So that's what I love about these streams is because regardless of where you are in the world, however old you are, whatever background you have, we're all just hanging out, talking about pro wrestling. So that's awesome being able to connect with you guys. Appreciate it. It's my favorite part of the stream, my favorite part of the channel, because I get to have the videos every now and then, and but the streams have really been my opportunity to connect with you guys, hang out with you guys, answer your questions. So that's my favorite part of the streams. But yeah, it's crazy to think 07, how the world was different then. But yeah, hopefully everyone's night's going well. That the week ahead of you will be even better. It was the final year for Benoit, yeah. It would be what, 4 months? 4 months prior? It's all good. Cut kids older than you, and I feel my age specifically since the wreck, which I have court on Thursday for. Man, Kent. Good luck on that, buddy. Hopefully for a speedy recovery and an easy road ahead, buddy. But hey, appreciate you being here with us on the stream. Shout out to Kent's kids. And like I said, hopefully court goes smoothly. Handle your business. Do what you got to do. Right on. But throughout the week, we always have videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Keep on the lookout for those. The next stream is going to be on Thursday, talking about the Ultimate Warrior. Then Sunday we'll have another stream as well. Let's say you're Dave Meltzer. So what match will you consider a 5-star, which isn't given by Dynamite Dave? Sonny, you're funny. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's funny. A 5-star. I'd have to. Okay, so here's one, because I know for a fact Kurt Angle has never gotten a 5-star from Dave Meltzer, and that's a crime. Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21. I genuinely believe it is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Shawn and Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21. The fact that that doesn't have 5 stars is ridiculous. Actually, let me look up. Let me look up what he gave it. Because the fact that he had two of the all-time greatest and didn't give it 5 stars because it was that damn good. And if you haven't seen that matchup, dude, do yourself a favor. Put in the DVD. Watch it on Peacock or Netflix, wherever it is. That's the one. Did you see the young fan with Jericho? Yeah, I did see it. That's funny. That's actually crazy. The flip off was wild. He gave it 4.75. It was a quarter of a star away. Terrible. Terrible. Jim, I always joke and say I wish I still had my detention slips from elementary and middle school for doing. Oh, that's crazy. I feel like we all got in trouble for the DX chop. The ladder match between the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. Awesome. Yeah, and that's another one that didn't get 5 stars. And take your pick. I feel like 17's the best one. But yeah, shout out to Big Tank. Sundays, I want to give a shout out to Kyle Kuzma. Right on. Warrior was better on his podcast lives than he was in honoring his comments to the companies he worked for, in my opinion. Yeah, Ultimate Warrior had a very tumultuous relationship with the public eye. Obviously, he made some comments as a motivational speaker that, a bit controversial, a bit insensitive. I feel like Warrior fell into that, believing his own hype and not being able to distinguish Jim Hellwig from the Warrior. I mean, he even changed his name to the Warrior to get access to the character and the IP, essentially. And that's something we'll dive into more on Thursday's stream. We're going to stay on live for about another 10 minutes, guys. I'll just give you the heads up there as we start to close down. We're talking pro wrestling, buddy. With WrestleMania just around the corner, it's the hottest time of the year to be talking about pro wrestling, to be following the product. Obviously, we had Monday Night Raw earlier today. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley have an opportunity here to be the main event. I don't think they're going to be the main event, but I open the opportunity to the chat here to see what their opinions are. Sonny says all they needed was to be in a Tokyo Dome with Ostrich and McFingerbangs. It would have been a 10-star matchup. I don't know what's his obsession with the Tokyo Dome, and I like Osprey. I was gonna call him Ostrich. I like Osprey. I like Omega, but I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I feel like Will Osprey has the most 5 stars that Dave has ever given. I could be wrong. Moxley versus Cope was good. It's tough, Big Tank. I like AEW, but Moxley versus Cope could have been a great matchup, could have been a bad matchup. All anybody's going to talk about is the spot, with the bat and the, the spikes. He always talked to people that came into his chats, unless was talked to weirdly. Then he turned his video. Then he turned in his videos that I was in. No kidding. That's crazy to think that he had his own lives. Drew versus Seth versus Punk should have been the triple threat at Mania. I don't think it's a bad take. Because Drew, Seth, and Punk all have their issues. I definitely could have seen that. And then maybe, call me crazy, have Drew win the triple threat. If that were to happen, have Drew win the triple threat. And then Fatu versus Roman, I love that. And you know what? I feel like they will do that, but they want to go through Jacob versus Solo first. And then we'll get Jacob versus Roman. But I love that. That's an awesome pick for the triple threat. Hot take, Lesnar's second run, can't wrestle. I think this is a hot take. I feel like people associate that second run with the part-time run. But he did have good matches against the likes of CM Punk and, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. I like the Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania 35. I feel like he could. It's a different style. That is a hot take. WrestleMania 26, Jim. My brother, my father, and myself, we had the pleasure of going to WrestleMania 26. Got to see Shawn Michaels' retirement match live. A buddy of my dad's was able to get us access to the floor. We sat like in the middle section, but he gave us these wristbands that allowed us access to the floor. So when Shawn and The Undertaker made their entrances to the ring, the three of us were on the floor, watching them from a distance. So shout out to Carl, who don't know if he still works at State Farm Stadium, but shout out to Carl. Appreciate you, my guy. Thoughts on the Saudi Arabia deal and how it affects the shows and wrestlers. You know, I get it. They want to go global. I think the basis of it was difficult because obviously what happened with the reporter early on, back in the 2010s. I just don't like the one-off shows. I never liked the what's it called? Super Showdown, Crown Jewel as like the one-offs where we gave people like Goldberg the championships. I'm fine with it though. As for the future deal, I think they're going to be at Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. I don't like it. I have nothing against the Saudi Arabia crowd, but they're not as passionate as the other crowds, specifically European crowds. So hopefully they're able to change my mind. He has a 48 5-star. Yeah, Kurt Angle has none. That is crazy, Sonny. That a guy like I got nothing but love for Will. I like his work. But that he has 48 and Kurt Angle has none? If you were to take Kurt Angle's TNA run alone, like, oh my god. I'm watching this content on this Don't know why, but okay. That was random. Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. Love going to WrestleMania 26. Great moments, great memories. Jim Uso versus Drew versus LA Knight for the US title should happen. Okay. I'm not mad at that. But I mean, Drew's going to be facing Damian. Feels like most of Lesnar's WrestleMania matches are forgetful except for his first two and breaking the streak. So WrestleMania 19, solid. 20, yeah. 29, yeah, I think that was forgettable. 30, obviously he broke the streak. 31 we remember because of Seth. 32 was forgetful. 33, forgetful. 34, bad. 35, I thought was good. 36, forgetful. Damn, you're onto something there, Sam friend. I don't think that's a hot take. I think you're pretty spot on. AJ, Drew, Cena, Punk, any of these should have won the Rumble rather than Jay because any of them is a better matchup for Gunther. I would have made the argument for Cena. I thought Cena versus Gunther was going to be the move and have Cody face off against someone like Randy, but they went with Randy versus Kevin Owens, which is fine. AJ would have been cool. But I'm willing to hear them out about Jay. From the Bay. Shout out Jim from the Bay. So when 31 came around, I fumbled hard by just not being able to afford it, missing the. You know what sucks too, Jim? I don't even think that's a necessarily fumble to like not being able to go to the show. It's because these tickets are freaking overpriced, man. You gotta sell an arm and a leg to go. I saw somewhere WrestleMania 41 because obviously we're out here in Arizona and it's in Vegas, not too long of a drive. I was curious. I was like, let me check it out, right? And there was like a nosebleeder for like $7,000 on one night. It's like, dude, these tickets are ridiculous. I do love the bloodline. I acknowledge them. Appreciate it. Sonny, they flagged your comment, but I put it up. The mantra of Dynamite Dave is 50 Canadian destroyers to the that Canada is destroyed. 100 super kicks. Shawn Michaels buried. 200 kickouts or near fall. It is. That's one thing I will say. It's a different style of wrestling, and I wish they would allow certain moves to marinate. Let them sit, let them cook. But a lot of times, like boom, 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 and before you know it, it's like, what the hell did I just see? So I'm with you. I'm with you there. Main event, Jay will win. I think so. Big Tank. Is Sami Zayn miss? No, I don't think so. He can't miss Mania, right? But it's like, who would he be facing? But he can't. I can't wait till Cena wins and then RKO beats Cena. I don't know if it's gonna happen for the championship, but I do think he'll face him and beat him. Like Jimmy said, right on, Big Tank. Do you earn money? I have different avenues, yes, I will say. Why you wear a hat but still let your bald head show? I mean, because my head gets cold, my guy. Sometimes my head gets cold. And a lot of times when I have the headphones on, it's more comfortable with the hat. I like wearing hats. Sue me. Bald is beautiful, my guy. I have no shame in that. It's just my head gets cold. I mean, think about it. Stone Cold was bald. The Rock is bald. Kurt Angle is bald. Some of the all-time greats are bald. Brock lost, yeah. I wish Uncle Dave did a live stream so I can say it to his face that Dave take your meds, say your prayers, and sleep, my man. Let Alvarez do this stuff. Yeah, that's funny. I like how on certain episodes of their podcast, Brian Alvarez kind of gets a little frustrated with Dave, and they have this back and forth. So I think it's funny. I don't watch Survivor. Obviously, I know of it. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. Sorry. Top 5 bald wrestlers: Austin, Rock, Kurt Angle. Immediately the top three. Immediately the top three. Um, would you put John Cena? He has a bald spot. Aside from John, all seriousness, these are guys that are coming off the top of my head. I feel like Goldberg. Shout out to Goldberg. In his prime. And then that fifth one, Molly Holly, WrestleMania 20. So next we have, I hope Cena wins just to dethrone Flair. Can't stand who Flair is as a person. Whether you have your differences with Flair or not, I think it would be fascinating, and I think it would be the right call to have Cena win. I want to see him break it and go for 17. I just don't know if I want it to be um against Cody. Shawn Michaels hesitates. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Gable would have been my Intercontinental title match. Oh, that's good. I like that. LA Knight, Nakamura, Balor, Priest, Mello, Andrade. Love it. No notes. I have no notes. I will say, though, Priest is going to be with McIntyre. Maybe throw McIntyre in there. Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6. I like it both. No notes. Ball people are bad at. Damn right they are, Big Tank. Lucha's life. Ray, does he count? I guess he counts, yeah. Seeing Goldberg at Vaughn's. He's huge. I believe it. Do a match with Lesnar? Hell no. He gonna kill me too. Luke Gallows don't even make the list. Shout out to Luke Gallows. I like Luke Gallows, but no, not my list, Kent. Sorry. Not on my list. Watching WrestleMania 26 until I fall asleep, it's crazy to see how little R-Truth. Dude, from like 2002 when he had the Punk was bald. Punk was bald. This is true. I probably could have added him. Since you're watching WrestleMania 26, Jim, you can see me. I said that we were on the floor for the entrance of the Shawn and Undertaker entrances. At the very beginning of the match, in the background, you can see a young me, my brother, and my dad walking. It's at the very beginning of the matchup. Shawn Michaels is delivering chops to The Undertaker. They go to the far right turnbuckle, and Shawn is giving him chops. The camera pans out, and you can see like the crowd behind them. My dad's wearing a white hat and a gray shirt, and then I'm the kid with glasses looking right at the camera. Like I'm walking and I'm looking right at the camera. And then my brother's in front of me. He's super short because he was, younger. But yeah, I'm so proud of that we were able to be spotted on WrestleMania 26. Okay, I lost track here. Just a few more years and you will see Jericho on the list because yeah, dude, he gonna be bald too. Punk was bald. Could have put him on the list. You're right. Yeah, Luke Gallows as Festus. That's crazy, Big Tank. Me and my brother were just talking about this as as Festus, and they explained why he was Festus and how he became Luke Gallows because he got off of drugs. Yeah, I agree with you, Muhammad. The Good Brothers, they didn't do anything with them. I like Gallows and Anderson. They didn't do anything with them. I'll keep an eye. Did you have a sign? No, because we sat like in the middle section, like higher up, higher up. But I'm telling you, during the Shawn and Taker entrance, at the very beginning of the matchup, when they're delivering chops, we're gonna be at the top right of your screen. My dad's wearing a white hat, and I'm the kid with glasses looking right at the camera, top right of the screen, man. You know what? Add Drew in the U.S. ladder match and remove Nakamura because he could have been saved for Aleister Black. Okay, I'm with it. Doomer, that's awesome. CM Punk is cowardly. Your opinion? What is cowardly? Everyone is a coward. Do you believe Roman Reigns can beat if it's scripted? That's hilarious. Shout out to Sonny. Biscuits and gravy. Yep. CM Punk is afraid of Roman Reigns. I don't know, man. He went after him on SmackDown. I was gonna say yesterday, but I don't think he's afraid of anybody at this point. And again, obviously, we know it's a show, dude. Come on. But no, I don't think he's afraid of anybody at this point. Well, it really picked up there in that last couple minutes of the stream. Appreciate the hearts. I see the hearts in the chat. Thank you. All beloved. All love. We're gonna go for a couple more minutes here. I'm gonna wrap up at about the 2 hour mark. So again, the next live will be on Thursday. Hope to see you all there. Great conversation, great chat with you guys. Appreciate it. Look out for the videos on Wednesday and Friday. The chat's on Thursday. Nothing but love, man. You guys have continued to show up for these streams and giving me another opportunity to shout out. Hello from Russia. What's going on? From our neighbors over there in Russia. Nothing but hundreds in the chat. Thank you very much. We'll start closing down here. Nothing but love, of course. You guys are the best. You guys make this what it is. The community that is the J area is in large part thanks to you guys. John, I'm with you. I hope Penta becomes the IC champion as well. From Arizona, out on the West Coast. Awesome, man. Awesome. You guys are the best. Can't tell you guys enough. Do you remember Crime Time? Yeah. When is Moscow? I don't know when is Moscow. But yeah, I remember them attacking the limousine. Crime Time and John Cena. I do. 2008. When is Edge's contract over with AEW? Because we need Edge versus Cena. Well, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Cena's retiring by the end of the year, and Edge is under contract at least for another couple years. Punk and Cody before it's over. I think he's going to retire there. Either that or he'll have one more match in WWE, but that might be it for Edge or Adam Copeland. I can't wait till some of the people in LFG get called up to NXT. I know only one person gets the said contract, but it's been nice watching it. And I wouldn't be surprised if other people get contracts because look at Tough Enough. Tough Enough, the winner would get a contract, but then other people like The Miz, who didn't win, got signed. Ryan Reeves, who became Ryback, didn't win. He got signed. So Yeah, no, I don't think they I don't think they necessarily have to win. I think if they still perform well and have the potential and the drive, they can find themselves with a contract as well. Yeah. Do I know Russian words? I don't. Don't. It'd be cool though. I know English, Spanish, and American Sign Language, but Russian not in my vocabulary. It's a damn shame we never got Brian Danielson versus Gunther, dude. Oh yeah, and Ilya Dragunov. Yeah, just missed it, man. Just missed it. Crazy how Miz is still going strong. I know. And Maven makes YouTube videos now. Yeah, yeah, has a very successful channel. Shout out to Maven as well. I watch every, now and then of his videos, but probably should subscribe. I just haven't. But yeah, yeah. Polka means goodbye in Russian, really. I didn't know that. Well, I guess we're getting pretty close to saying polka because it is around that time, guys. We're going to go ahead and call it. Thank you guys for joining us on today's live stream. Of course, my name is Jose Ramos Jr. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below some of your predictions for WrestleMania 41. What are some matches you want to see John Cena have by the end of his year? As well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you want to keep up to date with all the pro wrestling content that we produce here on YouTube, whether it's the J Area Wrestling Show, whether it's the other live streams or the videos that we have throughout the week. It's all love, nothing but love and gratitude towards the members of the J Area. And again, welcome those members to the Main Event Mafia. I'm talking about Kent, talking about Jim, as well as our other members as well that have joined us. People like San Fran 5 was also here that are already members. I just want to do a quick shout out to them. Bart G as well, who is a new member. Rikarsha Rudolph and Julian Campos as well. Shout out to all you guys. Cena's going to become a manager after the year? I don't think so. I don't think so, Ken. I think he's going to call it here. Just like we're going to call it here. A big yeet from Big Tank and a big yeet from Jim Acosta. All love, guys. Everyone have a good evening. Have a great morning. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe. Be smart. And we'll see you guys in the next one. All love.